me show y'all how the rutabaga are looking. This is probably the biggest one. Here, where did you go? Yeah, right here. That's a pretty good size. Just give me an idea. I might pull this one sometime soon. The rest of them are smaller than that. See, this one is about an inch and a half. This one is, I'd say, about 3 inches. Their leaves look terrible, but the actual roots are doing all right. We're about to get a freeze, like a freeze. Tomorrow is January. Oh, go ahead and. Tomorrow is January 5th. We're supposed to get a good hard freeze, like maybe up to a quarter of an inch of ice. So I went and cut off the heads of the broccoli. Oh, I do have a cauliflower here. Y'all, those last cauliflowers that I cut were not good. They weren't. The one that had not mites but aphids on it, it was just in really bad condition once I soaked it. So I didn't keep them. Fed them to the chickens. These are still looking okay, but I think I might go ahead and cover them anyway, just to be on the safe side. And these are gone, which I knew they would be. I didn't really put much effort into them, even once they came back. Let's see what the collard green shoots are looking like. These are the ones Eric picked the leaves off of, but I left the plants and then he picked the leaves so we could cook them. They're coming back pretty fine. He just literally stripped the leaves and left the stems. But I saw on Facebook where somebody said they were taking the stem part from the store that had been thrown out and planting them, and they were growing. So I was wondering if these would grow, these ones that I just chopped off. But so far they're not doing anything, so I don't think they will necessarily, but that's okay. I think with just this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 that we still have out here, I think it's just 10. Yeah, that they may grow enough for kind of what we would want throughout the rest of the winter, because we still have a bunch of jars in there of canned collard greens. So I came out earlier in just my sweatpants and sweatshirt and another layer underneath, but it was too cold. It was too cold. So I did put my coat on. And I'm debating whether or not I want to cut my cabbage. I think I'm just gonna leave it. I may cover it and leave it. But that means I need to do that today or early tomorrow, because the snow and ice are supposed to come tomorrow afternoon. And I don't want to risk messing with that. Oops. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and probably get that done today. I'm looking at my fig tree now. I'm wondering if I should have covered her up. I definitely should have covered her up. Look at these shoots. She's actually growing shoots. Let me get you closer. See that? Oh, see that? She's actually growing shoots. Let me try to get you to focus on it. Yeah, there it goes. She's growing shoots. Oh, can you focus on that? Yeah, so I'm gonna wrap her up too. What are we doing? So we're just covering this up, and then I need to wrap the fig tree. It's actually putting out shoots. Yeah. And hold it down with some bricks. Huh? So Eric asked me to go with him at Tractor Supply, and I said I would go with him if he helped me finish covering up these plants so I could get this done quickly. So, yay, I'm coming now. Hey guys, I don't know if y'all can see them. They're probably gonna run if I get too close. But there's Choco and Blue. They're behind the grill. They're meowing for food, I think. I was gonna go with Eric to Tractor Supply so I can get some more hay for this bed and hopefully they'll get in it. It's cold, huh? It's cold, buddies. So this is the end decision. I put the big green one over the cabbage and kale. Then right there, well, the white one that you see is another kale, and then this is another patch of kale. There's a little bit of kale where the broccoli was, but I'm gonna leave that, just hope it does okay. So I ran out of tarp to cover the fig tree, so we'll see what I do about that. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do, but I do remember seeing people cover their fig trees. So we'll see. Okay, so as you can see, I just refilled it with fresh bedding. Zoom out a little bit. It's about at the level of the opening. I'm gonna put the top back on, tape it down. And I think I'm gonna try to put a cover over the opening so that if they go in and out, they're protected from the wind when they're inside. Hello guys, I have not actually said hello, I've just been recording, but hi. I wanted to pop on and give you guys a little bit of an update on what we're doing today. So now is the time where we're preparing for the winter weather advisory that is supposed to hit us. Well, the weather is supposed to hit us tomorrow. So yesterday that snow was unexpected but fun, but still gave me a little bit of concern. But as you can see from earlier in this video, I was concerned about the ice that we're supposed to get. So I have covered our plants, our vegetables, I'm looking at them right now, to make sure that they don't get burned by the ice. I have also re-fortified the kitty house for Choco and Blue. Hopefully they will use it or they'll go somewhere warm and safe. And Eric and Josh are busy checking on making sure that our power supplies are ready to go, because they think we might get up to a 1/4 inch of ice, which might not seem like a big deal, but there's a potential for power outages with that. And like I said, never again. I will never go through that discomfort of a power outage again. So we have a Mr. Buddy heater to keep us warm in case it gets cold. Just checking on that, gonna give it a run to make sure everything's all good with it. We also have a generator that we can use in case of emergency, and a jackery, a low powered jackery that can kind of get us through if we need as well. When you have things like that, guys, don't just let them sit and like not try them out or test them out or give them a test run before it's time to use them, because you don't want to be in the emergency and then not have them to use. So, oops, sorry about that. So they are checking on those now. I've got everything in my garden prepared and ready for the cold. The chickens have been warmed up. Josh topped off their food. They have fresh topped up water. Everything is heated that needs to be heated, not excessively. Like the inside of their coop is like a 37, which is not warm, but it's warm enough for them. They thrive in cool weather. They're okay with it. So 37 degrees is pretty good for them. And that's where their coop is right now with the heater in it. And so they should be good to go. So yeah, that's our preparations for right now. Oh, let me show y'all something about my yard. Where I live, my backyard is kind of a weird wind tunnel. The cold, further away I get from the house, the colder it is. My backyard is kind of a wind tunnel for this area. And so wind blows hard through here, like whoosh, through this area. I think because my backyard is where all the trees have been downed. And so there's not a lot of trees here. But let me show you what happens back here. Garbage blows into my backyard and my neighbors, and collects right back in this corner. I'm always cleaning out this corner and it is annoying. There's wood back there, I guess, for my neighbor. She cut down wood and maybe put it back there, but look at this. And you can see it on the other side too. Yeah, so it blows in from the street, it blows in from around the way, but this is where, like this corner is where garbage lands. That's a little bit annoying. I'm not gonna clean it right now because it's cold. I'm going inside. And yeah, I'm basically like, I'm leaving that and it might get snowed on. Don't judge me. It's cold. Whew. Okay, I'll talk to y'all later. Pistachio latte, it's so good. Do you like pistachio lattes? If you don't like them, try them with oat milk and see if you like them that way. I get decaf because I can't do caffeine. And I always get oat milk if I can. And the oat milk decaf pistachio latte is in a tall. Okay, I don't know how it is with the other sizes, but tall. This is it right here. Okay, so I wanted to take a minute to tell you why I am so determined to make sure that our power supply is on lock and that we have heat in the event of an emergency. And it is because I lived in Texas in 2021 when we went through Snowmageddon. Now, listen, I'm a New York girl, born and bred. I moved to Georgia in high school, but I'm very used to snowy conditions, cold, the whole shebang. I know what it's about. But when I was living in Texas, about 4 years ago now, 2021, this snowstorm came through Texas that Texas was utterly unready and incapable of handling. The power grid went down, and the situation was that excuse me, this part of Texas isn't usually this cold for this many days. So we had, I think, 4 or 5 days with below freezing temperatures. No, more than that, more days than that with below freezing temperatures and ice and snow. And the power grid went down because Texas is on its own power grid. It is not part of the national power grid. And it couldn't handle the influx of all the people trying to keep their homes warm. I think the windmills were freezing. Texas has a lot of wind farms down in southern Texas. And the cold went so far south and the ice went so far south in Texas that the wind farms were freezing. So y'all, we were freezing in our houses. And honestly, how do I say this? People were unalived as a result of this system because nobody had heat, or they were supposed to be putting heat on rolling blackouts, but it blacked out and it was out. It was just gone for days and days and days. And people didn't have heat because most people have electric, right? So our electricity was out, so we didn't have heat. My household, we didn't have gas. We were fortunately in the process of already building up our stock and supplies. So we had a gas camp stove. We were able to eat with that, but we had not gotten our backup heater yet or a generator for our family in the event of an emergency. Please understand we had those things the next week. We were not caught out again. We did have food supplies. We had water supplies. We had plenty of clothes and blankets and hand warmers, the little hand warmer pouches. We had things for emergency situations, but we didn't have our power and our heat under control. So we got that down. So I'm like, what? Ice storm, you say? Potential power outages, you say? So I'm not playing them games anymore. I remember how utterly freezing it was in our house. Freezing, dark. It was cold. So yeah, that's why I'm super aware of that now. And I try to be very prepared. So we have all of our stuff together. Comment below if you remember that, if you remember that storm in Texas, or if you remember hearing about it or people talking about it. Let me know. We were not just whining. I think people were laughing at us at first, of course, Texas is complaining about snow, until it got real. Then it was oh my gosh. Anyway, though, thanks so much for watching my videos, y'all. I really appreciate you. I'm happy that you're here with me, that you're taking the time to sit and watch my videos. If you really enjoy this content, please go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you won't miss any future content from me. I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Bye-bye.